down I-79 from Pittsburgh. Welcome to Morgantown, West Virginia for the 192nd backyard brawl. From West to Lane to Pittsnoggle to Blair, they remember your name forever if you have a big night tonight against your biggest rival just down the road. We can't wait to bring it with you. This here's Miles Simon, the national champion. I'm Connor Onion. So great to be here for what's a vicious rivalry. You can feel the hate from the people behind us. They were here an hour before Artie Turpin.
Oh, this student section has been going nuts for the last hour since we've been here, but rivalry games are the best. You feel the intensity, the excitement, the little bit of nerves as both of these teams go for their biggest challenge so far early in the season.
Well, they're both 3-0 and definitely will feel the butterflies of this first real test of the season. And I know you can't wait to watch the guards, Minor against Huff.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that matchup tonight. Honor Huff led the NCAA in three-point shots made last year. He does it with speed and a super quick release. And conversely, on the other end, DeMarco Minor, the senior, the grad transfer, the leader of the Pitt Panthers team, is going to get that assignment and try to limit Huff and his touches all night.
Well, Jeff Capel has coached in plenty of these backyard brawls. The first 4 did not go his way, but the last 2 have belonged to Pitt. And he sees a new guy on the other side tonight with 4 coaches in 4 years in this rivalry for West Virginia. It's Ross Hodges' turn to step into the spotlight in the backyard brawl.
I know Coach Hodges, talking to him at shoot-around today, super excited for this opportunity. Not only the rivalry game, the backyard brawl, but the first big test against this ACC opponent for his West Virginia Mountaineers.
You were part of these, right? In-state, Arizona State. How do you come down from the high of introductions in front of your home crowd, especially if you're West Virginia?
You don't. You really want to be excited and really just get after it. And like, you're going to expend a lot of energy early in this game just because you're trying to get maybe some of the nerves out early.
So play with emotion, but don't be emotional. That was Jeff Capel's message for the Pitt Panthers as West Virginia controls the tap. And then Hunter Huff will get a chance to touch it for the first time. And West Virginia, all 3 of their games at home to start the year. And this 4th game begins with an inside basket for Harlan Obioha.
Well, I love that little set. It's a little cross screen from Hunter Huff, who you have to respect him getting another screen, but he set a great one for Obioha to get the inside layup.
Confetti flying early on the first trip here in Morgantown as Pitt touches for the first time. Also off 3 home games and 3 home wins to start this new year for the Panthers. Late in the shot clock on their first touch with Brandon Cummings back in there, and a miss from outside for Minor.
Good job by Jasper Floyd with the stunt and then the recovery to contest that shot.
Well, that counts, and 1. There's some of that continuous motion we'll see more of in college basketball.
Well, one thing for Hodge and these Mountaineers, excellent defense on one end, force a contested 3, but the throw ahead, that ignites your transition game. He takes the bump, and he goes to the line to try to complete the 3-point play.
Well, Jasper Floyd has played in this system already. He was with Ross Hodge at North Texas. They don't fly up and down the court a lot like we just saw. Usually a pretty serene pace.
Yeah, but I think what you want to do, establish, especially you're the home team, you want to get the crowd into this game. That's how you play in transition. Try to find some easy buckets early, especially this Pitt Panther team. They're going to hang their hat on defense just as the Mountaineers are. But you want to find those easy opportunities, and they got one there.
The reshifted team for Pitt, as a lot of teams are throughout college basketball. They think they're going to kind of be in the mud like West Virginia has established with their identity too. 5-0 jump for the Mountaineers, and the first basket comes from Cummings.
That's big right there. Brandon Cummings didn't play last game, playing with a little bit of a sore ankle, but right there, as he faded on that screen, he attacks baseline, doesn't go too deep, and shoots a little floater.
Well, he was terrific the 2 games he did play, double digits in both. The leading scorer for Pitt, 3 in and out, and their top shooter from Huff. So now the transition opportunity is spiked by Laureate. Unreal recovery block from Laureate. Well, Huff gets free. Late closeout. Minor got there, and Huff on the recovery. And the shot fake Floyd. Drives into the paint. Back out for Huff. And it can't hit. And back to Pitt.
Huff had 2 opportunities right there. He passed up an easy one on the first one, and he pump faked out of it, then didn't get a shot off. But I love off the kick out pass to Floyd, the relocation. But look at this transition defense right there. Lorient making the extra effort to block that ball off the glass.
We're talking about getting a home crowd going with one play early. Wow. So Pitt settles back into the half court. And a drive from Witherspoon. Bounces home for Amari Witherspoon.
That's tough. Big time move by the freshman there. Uses his shoulder to get a little bit of separation from Eaglestaff.
You're going to see some true freshmen in this game. Both teams will play a couple of their first-year guys. Witherspoon on the board for the first time for Pitt. Grayson Eaglestaff off to a slow shooting start. He gives it up. Into the post for Lorient. Off of that big block. Trying to pay it off on offense, and they get one back on it. Beautifully done by Witherspoon in a jump ball.
Great post defense right there. Not giving ground, and then going up being the second jumper to block that shot. We see him hold his position, Corhan, strong, physical, and then the timing to block that shot on the drop step.
So 1 for 1 on glass locking blocks. Start this game with Lorient involved in both. Cam Corhan getting him back. Lob is caught by Corhan, and he puts it away.
A big concern of Coach Hod is being able to guard the ball and keep Pitt out of the paint. Witherspoon, last 2 touches, has broke the plane of the foul line. Great lob pass there, gather and finish.
So Pitt with their first lead, and that's out of bounds off of Lorient and back to Pitt.
Well, Lorient's gone 2 straight possessions, 2 post-ups, 0 points on that. That time he tried to go against the freshman, Roman Cialepa, but the rugby star right there, he's not going to give a lot of ground.
He fits exactly what Jeff Capel wants, right? But that physicality, the rugby is part of it. Well, he'll scrum inside the paint. Pitt gets it back. We're riding a 6-0 run after the West Virginia 5-0 start. Down to single digits on the shot clock. Cummings gets free. And an air ball.
I love what Jenkins did right there. The physicality on the ball, picking it up near the half-court line, fighting over that ball screen, and then making him shoot a tough contested fadeaway 3.
Well, you know Cummings is going to hear about that the rest of the night.
Yes, he is.
How about the knowledge of the student section, too? They know that his brother played here. All warm-ups, they were chanting, "Where's Nelly?" Nelly, of course, a former...
Did a lot of homework.
Yep. Pitt Panther now calling the games at home for Pitt. Enjoyed Nelly's work the last couple of days. We're getting ready for this game. And a drive-in kick out for a Thomas 3. It swirls out to Lorient with the offensive rebound. So reloaded shot clock for the Mountaineers. Amir Jenkins trying to shake loose. Witherspoon right with him. Connor Huff takes a peek at the clock. It reads 8. Wraps a pass. Open look Lorient. And short on the 3, but a third chance on this trip. Lorient coming off a career game shooting the 3 ball. And this is the first one that he puts up. Now late clock again. It's DJ Thomas on the take. He's cut off. Cialepa was right there, but he finished anyway.
Good move by DJ Thomas. Just the composure right there, the good footwork, the pivot. That was a tough finish.
Well, you can sign both teams up for a start just like this, as that's the first foul against West Virginia, but sign us up too. 5-0 start West Virginia. 6-0 Pitt run. And the next 2 to West Virginia to lead by 1 in the 192nd backyard brawl. A couple early runs, 7-6. The count at the first media timeout. 192nd backyard brawl. Of course, you're keeping score in all the sports, but especially in football and men's basketball. Football in overtime to West Virginia. Pitt's trying to pay one back tonight.
Yeah, this rivalry obviously dates back so long, but these guys, when you come in this arena tonight, they felt this energy. The Pitt Panthers, even though many of these players on both sides are new to this rivalry, you can feel the intensity and the energy throughout the crowd because the fans know how much this backyard brawl means.
Well, going 12 rounds with a lot of these matchups. I mean, it's up there with Duke UNC, which, of course, Jeff Capel was a part of on the Pitt sideline. Xavier Cincy in the crosstown shootout. And this one is right up there with any in college basketball, don't you think?
Yeah, it's one of the best.
Old Big East rivals. Now in the ACC and the Big 12. Used to play at least twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, and now in the non-conference. Noyes Indrusitis with an air ball.
Indrusitis started last game because Cummings was out, comes back off the bench tonight as the 6th man. Sometimes that's tough as your first touch or first shot of the game is a 3-pointer where you're kind of coming off a downscreen.
Thomas lifts the lid the hard way. Hello off the window. So the first 8 threes combined in this game miss, and then that's the one that goes in. Come on now. So DJ Thomas, the first on the board with his second 3 of his college career in his true freshman season.
I'd love to see Pitt get Corin a look here.
Well, they do, and he took steps. A little extra on the gather.
Cameron Corin's a guy that they're going to need to score 15 to 17 points tonight. Well, here's Witherspoon with a little bit of a push-off, good defense to help come. And then the running with the basketball by Corin. Corin's a guy, though, that they want to get going. Get him some touches tonight. He can be a facilitator, but he can be a scorer with this group.
Been impressive first 3 games.
Yeah, he's really, really been good. He's one of 2 ACC players that's averaging 15 and 10.
Monty Hansberry of Virginia Tech, the only other guy that can say that. Virginia Tech off to a good start. Overtime win against Providence. Floater, no, and rebound snatched away by DeMarco Minor. He will fill it up in a lot of different ways. DeMarco Minor on the ball here for Pitt. That's a deep 2. Can't connect, and a fight for the rebound won by Obioha.
That's a tough shot. Mid-range contested with no passes. I'm sure Capel would want to see the ball moving a little bit more.
Drive, kick, 3, Lorient halfway down and out. Lorient did not take a lot of threes last year playing at North Texas. Went 3 of 4 in his last game. And a career-high shooting game. 0 for 2 start tonight for him. Cummings back in there after the early foul. Off an ankle injury that kept him out last game. Step back. It's down to Obioha again.
Good job by West Virginia of downing or icing those pick and rolls. They really want to keep that ball on the side of the floor and then bring all the weak side help over.
That forced the corner shot, and good defense from Pitt. Corin with the defense. Minor looking for guys running with them. Numbers back for West Virginia. Looking to play a high-low. Corin away from the basket. He's doubled. He fights through it. Cross-court skip. Cummings nails the 3.
That's a great job by Cam Corin to just be composed right there. The double team comes. He's able to split the double team right there and then find Cummings spotted up on the weak side.
Miles had snapped a 4-minute drought for Pitt, too. They had gone real cold.
Well, that's a product of the West Virginia defense that kind of locked in after those first few minutes where they were touching the paint. Coach Hodge got his defense back settled in.
A touch away from the basket for Obioha. 7 on the shot clock in the hands of Jasper Floyd. 4 on the shot clock. Lorient, same spot as before. And he's 0 for 3 from outside. Now some tempo. Well, Witherspoon on the attack and puts it home.
Great job with the long outlet pass. They get the 2-on-1 break opportunity. This freshman, Omari Witherspoon, doing a great job of attacking early in this game.
Well, he's a guy to keep an eye on tonight with the emotional part of it. He chose Pitt over West Virginia. Part of how this rivalry got its name, recruiting each other's backyards. And a rebound for Corin. As Pitt goes for 3 makes in a row. And a step back, Witherspoon from 3.
Look at this freshman. Is he poised? Is he tough? Is he feeling it early in this game, the confidence that he's playing with?
Well, he could have worn the other colors. He was recruited by Darren DeVries, the old West Virginia coach.
But Brandon Cummings spotted up on the weak side. He's getting the offense going here in the first half for the Pitt Panthers. Omari Witherspoon, the freshman from Bowie, Maryland, has been on fire early in this game. Look at all the things he's doing offensively. There, the big shoulder into Eagle Staff's chest to create separation. The getting out in transition and attacking the rim with the beautiful finish over two guys. And then once you've made a couple shots in this game, he's feeling really good, gets the step back to separation, and knocks down the three. Omari Witherspoon really the difference for the Pitt Panthers, why they've gotten a lead early in this game.
Each team sustained runs from the other. Pitt into that timeout up by 4 with Witherspoon up to 7. Here's Huff with that lightning speed.
West Virginia needs to get this guy going. Trayson Eaglestaff.
Eaglestaff gets a shot in tight and a whistle on the rebound. Send it down the other way.
Eaglestaff, when he hit the portal, transferring from North Dakota, he's a guy, he had multiple 40-point games, scored 51 versus South Dakota State last year. He's a guy they believe in. A lot of schools, a lot of high major schools wanted Eaglestaff, but he struggled early on. And talking to Coach Hodge at shoot-around today, he said, one reason he feels is that he's kind of overthinking the game because he's playing with such talented players. Maybe he's passing up some opportunities that he wouldn't have normally passed up when he played at North Dakota. But he's a guy that they are going to need this year, and they're going to rely on heavily to get 15 to 17 points a night.
He's doing this maybe more than he ever has. Defending down this end, and Lorient was called for the foul the other way. He was chasing that drive. Yeah, it's really foul trouble for Lorient.
Yeah, Eaglestaff has had to defend at a higher level, but that's part of being on Coach Hodges' squad. And then Lorient right there gives up the blow by Roman. You don't want to reach. I know he's trying to block the shot. He's the leading shot blocker on this team, but you don't want foul trouble if you're Lorient.
See Aleppo at the line for 2. And Lorient will check out. Less than midway through this first half. That's a big loss for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, Lorient is a guy that he's the leader of this team. He's the leading scorer right now. Had a career high 26 points last game. He does a little bit of everything. We've seen the block shot in transition. He can score. He can knock down threes. And this is a team not with a ton of depth at this point during the season.
And Lorient has done something big every game. Double-double in the first game, career highs in the next 2. We'll see if they go back to him at some point with the 2 fouls. The drive that's left short for Jenkins. Pitt clears the glass up by 5. See Aleppo, drive and kick. And good hands for West Virginia down in the corner, but couldn't get it back with Jenkins. And it's off closing out on Aleppo. Witherspoon with the early perfect start. 3 of 3 from the floor. He's cut off. Out with 5 to shoot. Miner's got to go. Into the post for Corey. He had small guys on him. Out for a late clock 3. That's an air ball.
Pitt missed Corin early in that possession. They didn't see him. They didn't see the mismatch in the post. They got it to him too late. And Corin almost should have just gone up with that over the smaller defender to look for his shot, because kicking out, there's not enough time on the shot clock to be able to get a good shot off.
He had a foot of height on Huff.
You almost just want to know in that situation, you know, the time on the shot clock and just be able to shoot a little bit of a turnaround.
6'10" against 5'10", but couldn't find it. And they go inside with their size, Obi-Oha.
Great high-low game there. Obi-Oha has such a big presence at 7 feet, 265 pounds. Great job of sealing right there and then riding his guy up the lane to create that separation.
Another drought. Each way we've seen 4+ minute droughts. True to the name of this rivalry with the brawl. We expect that type of grit in the half court. Witherspoon sees the shot clock at 6. It's down to 3. Working his way in. Mid-range pop, and he's still perfect.
That's tough. Because that was good defense all around, team and individual. Obi-Oha came over on the baseline drive to shut that off, and then Eaglestaff did a good job of chesting that drive and then contesting.
Are you going to miss tonight?
I don't know. We might not.
A runner, well done from Amir Jenkins.
I love these freshmen, how much confidence that they're playing with. Amir Jenkins, a guy that they're really high on out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Don't know any better coming into this game. First backyard brawl for both Jenkins and Witherspoon, showing brightly. And Miner with the mid-range.
Miner, the leader of this team. Strong, physical guard. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals versus Eastern Michigan. Coach Capel calls him a winner.
With that busy box score, you get the sense he might threaten a triple-double at some point this year. With all he does for Pitt. The Eagles staff couldn't get a look. Thomas does. We had Cialeppa go down behind the play. This is 4-on-5. Now he rejoins. And Pitt, with a numbers disadvantage, find Corin.
It's a subtle thing right there. But that cross-court pass, and then Cummings, the threat of him being such a good three-point shooter, 58% coming into tonight. Pump fakes, drives, draws the low man, and then throws a beautiful touch pass for the lob.
Corin in deep to make it a 7-point Pitt lead ahead of the under 8 timeout.
How about the matchup, though, of the freshman Cialeppa guarding Obioha down in the post?
Just denied him a touch. Now it's getting late for West Virginia. 4 to shoot. Huff steps back, and he got his first.
Here's a guy who led the NCAA in threes made last year at Chattanooga. 131 made at 41%. Most dangerous guy on the floor from behind the arc.
Little context on that. That's more than Kyle Korver in a season at Creighton.
Love that.
One of the best shooters of all time. Witherspoon, hey, he finally did.
He didn't need it.
No.
He's feeling it, but the way he's been patient. That one, I felt like he didn't need that shot. A contested three, a little bit out of rhythm.
Obioha slides it in beautifully to Thomas. First miss of the night from Witherspoon on one end turns to an easy big-to-big pass for 7 points for Thomas on the night. Cummings on Huff. Tough one goes.
Honor Huff did a good job of fighting over the screens there. But Cummings, he's a scorer.
How good is this game? First half, 4-point lead for Pitt. The lob for Corin. Hanging on a rim. And then Huff, for the first time tonight, gets separation and knocks down the outside. Only on Fox. Miles Simon, Connor Onion. Matchup of DeMarco Minor for Pitt. Honor Huff for West Virginia has been as advertised to start.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. DeMarco Minor having to guard Honor Huff and how much movement that he has. Look, the great contest there. He's trailing him off ball screens. But here, the late contest, I love that he didn't fly by on that one. Gets active hands. And then this one, it's just Connor Huff. That's against good defense. That's just better offense. Sometimes that's going to happen. But the things that you want to do if you're DeMarco Minor, you want to stick on Connor Huff like Velcro. Try to make him play inside the arc as best as possible on each possession. The guy shoots 9 threes a game at a high clip. You want to limit those opportunities. Minor doing a great job early in this game. I think you remember at the first time out, Honor Huff had already got three threes up. In that point, in the last 9 minutes, he's only gotten one up. Now he made that one, but you really want to limit those opportunities.
How many attempts are you good with if you're Pitt?
You want to keep him under his number. If his number is 9, you want it to be like 7 or 8. You want to continue to send him inside the arc. Now it's going to be tough just because he's a key focus on the offensive end, and he's going to shoot some contested ones. Great drive and dish right there. I love that. Good paint touch and then good drop off for the finish.
Obioha with Huff out there on the perimeter. Minor's
not going to help. He's in, and that's a directive. That's a scouting report thing. Usually he would sink down on that, but Coach Capel, they don't want to give up the 3.
Bench points 9-zip West Virginia. They've gotten back to 1 after Witherspoon helped them stretch it to their biggest of the night. Barry Dunning into the game for Pitt. This is Minor with 3 on the shot clock. He hoists and can't connect. It almost went in on a slingshot on the tip back. West Virginia gets it back in the hands of Jasper Floyd. Pass on the open look for Thomas. He bumps his way in and wheels it back out. Obioha fell down. Back on his feet. Thomas from the same spot.
Now, if you're Pitt, you have to make a little bit of adjustment because DJ Thomas was 1 for 4 from 3 coming into tonight's game. He's now made 2. Now, one of them was a bank. Those are shots that they were planning on living with. But now you have to get a late contest after he's made 2.
A little prettier that time. A little more true on that 3. Fourth lead change already in this first half.
Look how connected West Virginia is on the defensive end. They keep that ball on the side of the floor. Everybody pulled over. It's very tough to score against a loaded defense.
Cummings all the way on that right side, couldn't connect. West Virginia a chance to extend the lead, up 1. Quick step, Huff inside, and he'll go to the free throw line. He attacks a foul on the big Corin, his first.
So now you've done your job, Honor Huff. You send him inside the arc, but right there you just don't want to come into his body, make him score over the top of you. It's not something that Huff really feels comfortable doing, attacking the basket and scoring over the top. Just make him finish that without fouling.
You mentioned it before, Miles, how he led the country in three-point makes last year. Went on to win the NIT. A couple of 30-plus point games for Huff in Chattanooga.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Hodge today, he said one thing. I asked him, how does he get his shots? Like, how's he able to get it off? Because Connor Huff, he's only 5 feet 10 inches, you know, on a great day. Is that his speed? So he really comes off screens with great pace, and then he has a super quick release. He has great legs underneath him when he's getting his shot off, and then he shoots a beautiful ball with the spin and the rotation that he has.
You don't see him miss from the foul line much. He was 18 of 21 before that trip. And the left one out there. It is a 6-0 run that'll have a chance to continue for West Virginia off the hands of Corin. And everything with Huff is fast, right? The release, the speed, him on the ball.
Well, we're coming off the pick and roll there, but look at the low man is pulled all the way over right there. Going to be hard to complete those passes. One thing you want to take care of the basketball in a game like this.
Hit 18 turnovers in their first game. Much better against Eastern Michigan with just 8. Much better ball care into this game as well. Just 3 first-half turnovers.
Yeah, you can't really waste possessions against a team as good defensively as West Virginia is.
What about Witherspoon? Sticky defense on Huff. To send it to the under 4 timeout. There'll be 6 to shoot for West Virginia. On the ball when you come back up by 2 for the Mountaineers. Lead changes. The latest gives West Virginia 25-23 jump ahead of halftime. Miles, the freshmen, both sides have played well in their first rivalry.
DJ Thomas has been amazing in this first half, really leading the way with 10 points. But look at the composure right here. The footwork, the spin, scoring over the top of Cialepa. And then he says, okay, I've only made 1 3 on the year. How about the second one? I'm just going to bank it in. But here's the versatility. Now he's playing outside, inside, the post-up, takes advantage of the mismatch. DJ Thomas been super effective for the Mountaineers in the first half.
He didn't have a high major offer. He was ready to go to North Texas. And then when this coaching staff got the job, they're like, you know what? We believe in you, DJ. Come on with us.
Well, a great pickup. It's working tonight for Coach Hodge and the Mountaineers.
A lot of mid-majors wanted him, but finds his home in West Virginia. 10 points in his first backyard brawl.
Look at the physicality. They got Witherspoon on Huff now that they are bodying him up all over the court.
What a late shot clock. Didn't matter for Jasper Floyd.
Jasper Floyd, usually the table setter, the guy who leads this team in assists, started all 36 games at North Texas, but low clock. Makes a beautiful 3-point shot.
Miles, not normally a 3-point threat either. Just a second in the young season. 90% of his baskets are 2s. Indrusitis on the driving kick. Cummings can't answer back, but he followed his own. Goes reverse. And they say West Virginia got it clean. So this 9-0 run for the Mountaineers has given them a 5-point lead.
Let's see if they can get Eaglestaff an easy look in these last 3 minutes. This is a guy that they need to get going. Here he gets his touch.
Well, both of his shots have come inside. He's the setup man.
I love that from Eaglestaff. He's only taken 1 shot in the half. Could have forced one up in traffic, but draws the low man defender and then drops it off for the dunk. Veteran play by Eaglestaff. Well, here's Eaglestaff on the drive. He draws the low man. Does the perfect drop off, and then late clock, Jasper Floyd, the separation against the mismatch. Beautiful job offensively.
So that swells the run to 11-0 West Virginia, and that won't stop it. It looked like it would sit down for Indrusitis. This has been like that overtime football game these guys played against each other. It was a 7-point Pitt lead. Now it's a 7-point West Virginia lead. And it grows again with Jasper Floyd.
They've come out with that set about 2 of the last 4 possessions. Just a little pistol step-up action, which Pitt is not switching, and they've been able to get to the rim.
And the West Virginia fans rising. And on this defensive trip, and there's a foul as Minor forces the issue. And we'll have a chance to stop this 18-2 Mountaineer run.
And the reason that little pistol action has been working is because Honor Huff is the guy setting the screen, and they want to stay attached to him, so there's no help on that step-up pick and roll in the guard-to-guard situation. So you see, here we go into the drive for Pitt, and then Honor Huff committing that foul. But on the other end, the reason they were getting to Jasper Floyd gets to the rim is because they're hugged up on Honor Huff, respecting his three-point capability. They can't leave him, and it allows Jasper Floyd to get downhill.
Minor just tagged the first foul on Huff. 14 of 15 on the year from the free throw line. And he continues to rein him in from this spot. This is a big pickup for Jeff Capel and his staff. Jalen Lowe went to Kentucky, their point guard from last year. And as we've mentioned, Minor has made a very good first impression.
Yeah, Coach, he says he's the intangible guy on this team. He's the leader. He brings the toughness. He's a good defender. And then he's the connector of this group. And here comes that pistol step up again. They went into Eagle staff on the pick and roll.
He couldn't flare it out to him. The trip to the free throw line stopped the 13-2 run, and now a free throw line trip for Obioha. Amadou Conte with his first foul.
Good patience by Jasper Floyd there. Just probing the defense, using the pick and rolls, getting into the paint, and then the drop off. And then here's the foul. Conte, at this point, it's too deep. Don't reach on that. Just vertical that wall up. Make him score over the top of you as best as possible.
What's that point on the floor? Is it a restricted area in? You're good with that contest?
You want that contest no matter. You don't want to foul. You know, like you just want to be as big as possible. And I know Obioha is a good finisher around the basket. He's pretty efficient, but still, right there, just vertical that if you're Conte, and then you live with the result.
Obioha in this first half is up to double digits as he checks out. Obioha and Thomas, the 2 in doubles for West Virginia. Witherspoon leading Pitt with 9. 16-point swing in the back half of this first half. Pitt by 7, now West Virginia by 9. In the control of Minor. He gives it up, and a foul called on Huff. It's just the 15th foul against West Virginia. So no bonus time yet. Pretty clean first half.
I was just going to say that. It's been a pretty clean first half for how physical these teams really play defensively. They put bodies on guys. They keep bodies in front. Both of them really hang their hat on their physicality on the defensive end.
2 fouls on both Huff and Lorient, though, so even with the team foul situation low, West Virginia gets it back on the miss by Witherspoon. So with Huff off the floor, Minor doesn't have to chase him around now, but Eagle staff can get him up, and a contested one missed.
He should have shot the first one. When they went under the DHO right there, he had a chance to pull from behind the screen. He made the shot tougher than it should have been.
And Minor slithers in, can't connect. West Virginia without 2 of their starters, Lorient and Huff, with foul trouble. Will slow it down with a 9-point lead. It's in through Citus, checking the ball with Jenkins.
Little Spain action right there for Eagle staff, and they missed him.
Jenkins got the switch. Offensive rebound, Thomas. He double pumps, can't put it away. And Corin off his hands and out. Corin thought somebody else got it on the way out of bounds. Him and Kip Kissinger having a conversation.
Well, I was looking at Obioha running to the scores table to check in, and he fell down. I think he tripped over one of the coaches as he was heading to the scores table.
I think that'll make the tape in the team meeting tomorrow.
Watch this play for Connor Huff. Coming back to the corner.
This went to the bench with the 2 fouls. He's opposite corner with Floyd on the take. It's Eaglestaff. And in and out. Rebound for Minor. Jeff Capel saying one shot. Shot clock is turned off. Pitt once led by 7. They're looking to cut into it before halftime. And Cummings can't. Rebound West Virginia. Going into the locker room with the Mountaineers up by 9 at 34-25. So the freshman, big part of the story. And the 192nd backyard brawl. And their first, Thomas for West Virginia with 10 points. Witherspoon with 9 for Pitt. And halfway through in Morgantown with the Mountaineers up by 9. Well, Pitt has won the last 2 of these going away in the backyard brawl. West Virginia by 9, trying to stop that streak in Morgantown tonight. As we welcome you back, the national champion, Miles Simon. I'm Connor Onion. This isn't quite the press Virginia of old, but man, these guys can guard.
Yeah, this is what Coach Hodge is known for, and this is what he brought to Morgantown is the defense. His North Texas team last year was 3rd in the nation in points per game given up, just giving up a tad under 60 points. Tonight, they got Pitt Panthers on pace for 50.
Yeah, that's you're going to need more than that to win this game if you're Pitt. When they have scored, they've gone to their freshman, Amari Witherspoon.
Amari Witherspoon has been really good. The freshman for the Pitt Panthers kind of led the way. Separation there on the 3-point shot. He's done it in the mid-range. Here on the little back down, the patience, the little step back on Eaglestaff. Witherspoon's the guy that has really kept them in the game tonight. And then on the other side of the ball, DJ Thomas, the other freshman. As many veterans as there are on these teams, DJ Thomas with the bank 3, played with a ton of composure. He's done it inside and out, posting up the smaller defender there, gets the drop off and the finish.
I thought maybe our crew was going to take the bank 3 out of the highlight. I'm glad they kept that in there.
No, they love the bank 3. Always open.
Student section loved it too. Still buzzing about that at halftime. It's Witherspoon 9, DJ Thomas 10. Now for Pitt, Miles, notice watching them the first couple of games, a lot of their scoring was off of offensive rebounds. Didn't generate much off their misses in the first half.
No, only 1 offensive rebound, but that's part of the physicality that West Virginia plays with. And it's one of the key principles in Coach Hodge's defensive principles is make sure that they're putting bodies and only 1 shot at a time.
Well, the defense anchoring West Virginia to the 9-point lead at the break. And this is probably going to continue into the Big 12. 3rd in the country at North Texas, Ross Hodge's team last year. And just behind Houston, who led the country. And into the post to begin with Obioha.
First play of each half for West Virginia. They've gone to the big fella. First one was a cross screen into a dump off there. They just give him a straight post up and he goes to work.
Well, you figure you'll see more of that down this end in the second half, don't you think, Foran?
Yeah, they got to get Cam Foran going. This guy who's the 2nd leading scorer on this team, he only got 2 shots in the first half. He needs a lot more touches, and he also has to assert himself and be more aggressive when he does get the basketball.
He's working down low. Amadou Conte came crashing in and got called for a 2nd foul.
Conte is a guy that cannot get in foul trouble in the second half here. They really only him and Korn are the guys of the best size.
No foul trouble in that first half for Pitt. And we did have 2 guys in foul trouble for West Virginia.
Well, they went with Conte for the size part to start the second half here.
Oh, he just picked up back-to-back fouls.
Yeah, Cialepa starting on the bench, the freshman, in the second half.
Well, they might have to quickly go back to him because Papa Amadou Conte, 2 quick fouls, that's 3 in the game.
Yeah, and I love what West Virginia's done. They go to Obioha down in the post. That gives confidence. It makes big guys even play a little bit harder when they know they're going to get rewarded with some touches on the offensive end.
And the big thing for Obioha tonight as we get deeper into the second half and on the season, because can he play for long stretches?
Yeah, his conditioning has really improved. Here was a guy who was a football player in Hoxie, Kansas. Okay, 8-man football, a tight end and a defensive end. But he has good feet, soft hands. But one thing that he's done since he's been in college, he's lost over 80 pounds. And then since he's been here at West Virginia, he really credits strength and conditioning coach Jason Martinez for the advice and the encouragement that he's provided. He works really hard on his body and his diet each and every day.
Lance Leipold at Kansas. Chris Kleiman at Kansas State. Maybe they can convince him to come back home. Be a 7-foot tight end. Oh, there's a steal. Jasper Floyd with a take from Minor. And it coast in. West Virginia with an avalanche out of halftime to force a Pittsburgh timeout.
The defense of the Mountaineers on point here in the second half. Led by Jasper Floyd. Look, he gets into the basketball, the active hands, and then the easy 2 on the other end.
39-25, West Virginia, 5 in a row out of the timeout, and out of halftime forcing the Pitt timeout.
Well, there's multiple ways that this West Virginia defense attacks you. First in the half court, look how connected they are in their shell defense, the denial, the high hands closeout. Then the bodies, they're flooded to you, the floor looks loaded, and then they get one-shot defense and out. Then there's their transition defense. Lorient doesn't give up on the play, makes it tough, blocks that ball off the glass, and then individual defense, Jasper Floyd into the basketball, setting the tone, making the floor look crowded. West Virginia just attacking you from all angles on the defensive end.
And with that defense on the other side, I assume Jeff Capel set some version of stronger with the ball, guys.
Yeah, you got to be stronger with the ball, complete these passes, be able to be more aggressive against this defense.
Looking for their first basket out of halftime after 25 points into the locker room. They were chasing 9. A lob, a little bit off target, but Corin adjusted and threw Obioha, gets it back, and a third chance at it. 2 tight to the basket for Corin, but no dice. And that is a block. Huff is called for his 3rd.
Good play out of the timeout by Coach Capel. They get Corin on the lob, just doesn't finish the first one, and then by the time he gathers it the second time, they have 3 guys on him. Honor Huff doing a good job moving his feet, trying to get in position to take the charge, something that Coach Hodges talked about with Huff, being a better on-ball defender.
He steps out with his 3rd foul. Battled foul trouble in the first half. Cummings gets a paint touch, out for a minor 3. It's short, but a 4th chance for Pitt, and a travel. Well, turnover ends that trip, but that's more like the Pitt we saw the first 3 games, generating second chances.
Yeah, I love what they did right there. The drive and kick, the extra opportunities, they're just not able to convert. They need a couple of these shots to fall just to get their confidence back and find some rhythm on the offensive end and get back in this basketball game.
Well, Miles, they had 1 offensive rebound the entire first half. They had 3 on that possession. West Virginia gets away unscathed, backing the ball up 14. And a whistle out wide on Witherspoon.
Coach Capel in disbelief over there about that call. There's been a lot of physicality on the ball in tonight's game, and for that one to be called in the open floor.
He made the signal like he just tapped him. So that's on Witherspoon, his first. Lorient back in there and back in the book.
Lorient with his first basket of the night. They did a good job of running that high-low action.
He sat the final 10.5 minutes of the first half with 2 fouls. Off his career high 26 in their last game. The sweeping baseline, Corin shoves it out for an air ball and a 3 for Cialepa.
They're bringing this double team from the baseline every time on Corin, trying to give him different looks, not let him play one-on-one. I think he's still got to be a little bit more aggressive to try to score.
Well, just 2 baskets in the first half. Nothing doing for anybody on Pitt in the second half. There is another cleanup job for Obioha.
And that's created by Eaglestaff. Obviously the drive, the touch of the paint, just getting that ball up on the rim and drawing that secondary defender freed up that offensive rebound.
It is 9-0 West Virginia since halftime. Obioha up to 15 on the night. Here's Corin. He strips. Lorient away with the ball. The stifling West Virginia defense carrying right out of the locker room. Eagle staff. Got it. Eagle staff said quiet down. They did the opposite.
Trayson Eagle staff has to be feeling really good right now. The drive on the previous possession, but now they go under the DHO, and he makes them pay with the three-point bomb.
Maybe that's why Trayson Eagle staff said quiet down after he hit the three, out of respect for the baby. But this place exploded 12 in a row for West Virginia out of halftime, and it's been spurred by their defense. Yeah, when your defense is on point like West Virginia has here, they swarmed the basketball. The lob was open for a second, then the recovery by Obioha, the contest inside without fouling. This has started that run in the second half, the 12-0 run. Then again, the closeout. They end up getting a block right there on the attack. But then they're going to bring the double team from the baseline, the skip pass, the closeout. No open threes for the Pitt Panthers. Maybe a little bit of a foul right there. Coach Capel wasn't happy about that. And then that led to the Eagle staff three and this 12-0 start to the second half. Those three turnovers for Pitt since halftime are as many as they had in the first half.
You know, one thing in talking with Coach Capel today, this is their first time on the road this year. They're playing with three freshmen in their rotation. The thing that he said about this group is that he's anxious to see how his group reacts tonight with their first time on the road. They have to fight, but they also have to have poise while doing it. This is the time right here. You're down 20. There's still a lot of time left in this game. So can you settle down and find an easy look? Way to attack the press right there. Indrusitis just nice and easy. Corin waiting in the dunker right there. More opportunities like that. Now they turn up their defense. They're picking up full court. Can they turn West Virginia over and find some of these easy opportunities on the other end?
Well, they have not so far tonight. Just two turnovers that the Pitt defense has forced. West Virginia just gave up their first points of the second half. And who's it off of? It was kicked. So they'll stay here. Well, you've been calling for more of this, more Corin down low.
Well, here's the press break. They attack that 1-2-2. DJ Thomas is kind of caught in between, and then Corin is in great position right there in the dunker to receive the lob.
Three, Thomas can't hit. Rebound for Witherspoon.
Now you want to play fast. Find some easy opportunities. It's been too much of a grind in the half court. Play a little bit quicker because you have to have more possessions to be able to make up the difference in this game.
Off the bench, Indrusitis had the assist, not the hit though. Plays right into what West Virginia wants you to do if you play slow.
Yeah, they want you to have to play against a loaded defense every time down.
Numbers back for West Virginia. Feels like always in transition deep.
#1 on Coach Hodges' defensive principal board.
In the half court again, it's Floyd jumping the passing lane, but the recovery for Witherspoon saved an easy basket.
Great job by Witherspoon, hustling back right there, not giving up the easy layup and contesting that ball at the rim.
Came off the fourth Pitt turnover already since halftime.
Well, there's Witherspoon, the turnover, the stunt, and the recovery by Floyd. But then Witherspoon, I love that he didn't give up on that play.
Lorient backing his way in. And before the travel, there was a foul call. Let's see Alepa on his first. Saw Alepa start the second half on the bench. Conte, 3 fouls, went out. Alepa back in there. Floyd was hiding out on the take, leaves Lorient, contested too.
I love the way Jasper Floyd just runs the team. He's just so under control when he plays. Passed up the three-point shot in the corner, the simple drive, and the little shovel pass for the easy touch shot.
His setup and his defense showing up opening minutes of the second half. Witherspoon into traffic. It's a little Olay. Got a nutmeg on Lorient. It'll stay with Pittsburgh.
Witherspoon's going to be a good player, man. Does a lot of good things out there on the floor. But Witherspoon driving right there, the 45 cut by Andrusitis. And then he's got to be able to just catch that and finish.
Oh, man, Andrusitis is working hard to get open. And he connects.
Good spark. The pass for the dunk. Now the 3 in the quarter by Andrusitis. He's a guy who's just really playing his first college basketball. He's transferred from Iowa State. He didn't really get to play. He's almost in this freshman group. He's still learning the college game.
Well, they like his international experience with Lithuania. He grew up in Chicago, but with Lithuanian roots. He has the defense. There's another spark.
He fought over the top of that screen, kept his hands up. It was almost like a defensive back right there guarding a wide receiver.
Witherspoon gave it up. A 3 rolls down for Cialeppa.
What did I talk about a few possessions ago? Defense sparking offense. The steal on one end, play a little bit faster going the other way, and then that gives you some rhythm. Great job by the Pitt Panthers.
Maybe the best pace we've seen all night from Pitt.
Yeah, and we talked about Coach Capel. He wanted a response from his group when it got tough. They were down 21 points. They've now cut it to 15.
Having trouble stopping Obioha.
Yeah, they might have to bring a double team on Obioha. Been too much of a force down low.
He's up to a game-high 17 points. Minor attacks him. Ball fake, Corin. Backs a 3.
All created by Minor, touching the paint. DeMarco Minor drawing multiple guys to the paint. Corin popping out. Excellent job of the pick and roll action or pick and pop action there by the Panthers.
Minor has not shot it well tonight. He has set up a couple of baskets. And that is a foul on the ground against Andrusitis. That's his first. So you're looking maybe double team down this way for Pitt on Obioha?
Yeah, you might have to just change up your coverage. They're playing behind him in the post and just playing him one-on-one, but he's been super effective in his back downs. And he's too big. He's 7 feet, 265 pounds or so. You might want to make him a passer out of the post, especially with no Huff on the floor right now and no Eagle staff on the floor. Good time to double team him.
Corin has single coverage on him opposite of the ball with Floyd in control. Turns the corner, throws it up. Lorient has it tapped away. Witherspoon in on another defensive play for Pitt. Corin looking for help. Now Pitt will slow it down. Pitt is trailed as much as 21 out of halftime. It was a 12-0 run for West Virginia.
Let's see if they can get Cummings a shot here.
Cummings down the corner as Witherspoon attacks. It's a 3, Cialeppa. And it's out of bounds back to West Virginia.
Pretty good action there. You can live with that shot. You get downhill, you skip it to an open shooter on the weak side.
It has been such a hard defense to crack. Ross Hodge last year, 27 wins at North Texas. Third in the country in scoring defense. And it has traveled in the 4th game for West Virginia. Obioha, perfect 7-7 from the floor tonight. Ball out of his hands. A creation for Floyd. Late in the shot clock. Jenkins got to get busy. He steps back and can't connect. Scoring the rebound.
Great defensive possession by Pitt. The rotation's wrong point, multiple efforts there.
Well, they go fast again. Witherspoon protects it.
Play fast. Defensive stop. Get out and run. Find some easy opportunities.
The first backyard brawl is a double-digit game for Omari Witherspoon. Up to 11 points for Pitt. And that is... Well, Kip Kissinger was saying it was tipped. Roger Ayers said no. So those two will come together. Kip Kissinger is on the near side. He said tips. Roger Ayers came in and said, my call will stand, so it'll be Pitt ball when you come back. So, conference between Kip Kissinger and Roger Ayers as we went to break. The ball was ruled Pitt ball. You make the call here on whether or not it was touched at the backcourt.
Yeah, Corin is pressuring Obioha right there. And it looks like when he reaches in that he may have touched that basketball and tapped that ball in the backcourt. That's what Jasper Floyd was feeling. That's why he let the ball bounce into the backcourt. Right there, gets his hand on the basketball. Floyd lets it go. He was just going to let it reset so he can bring the ball up. but the officials saw it differently.
Just a little lobster arm in there for Corin, and Pitt gets away with it. And Miles, if we know anything about this rivalry, 25 games decided by 2 points or less, 11 overtime games. It's never over. No,
it's going to be no surprise in this last 11 minutes. Pitt, with the way they've shown a lot of fight and their response to being down 20 earlier in this half, this could go down right to the last minute or so.
A 12-0 run for West Virginia out of halftime, answered by a 13-4 Pitt run. Witherspoon has had a big part in that all night long with his 11 points. Pitt dragging the shot clock down again. Andrew Saitis into the body, and he got it.
What a spark he's been in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Defensive plays, touching the paint, passing, knocking down a three. Andrew Saitis, big-time drive right there with the shot clock winding down.
Didn't show up much in the first half, did he? Changed that perception in the second half. The lead is down to 10 for West Virginia. Huff misses way long, and Pitt with a chance to slice it into single digits again. West Virginia by 9 at halftime. Andrew Saitis working his way in, throws it away. He got caught in a tight spot. Lorient with the intercept. Lorient is fed in the post, and he lays it home.
As well as Andrew Saitis has played in his minutes here in the second half, that's just doing a little bit too much. When it starts to take you 6 or 7 dribbles against a set defense, it's going to be tough.
That snapped a 7-0 Pitt run. Witherspoon back downhill, and he slingshots it way long. He's late getting back in on the play. West Virginia quickly. A three is missed by Ugasu.
Push this ball at the floor.
That's where we've seen the best of Pitt in this half.
Here comes a little Iverson action for Witherspoon.
And Floyd with him all the way. He's had several steals in this second half. Guarding Witherspoon, who's been the top guy for Pitt tonight, and he draws a foul. And the tap from behind is called, and it's Floyd with his first. Floyd with the 10 points, and a couple of steals that started that 12-0 run for West Virginia. Corin out wide from the basket, trying to get him going in full for Pitt. And Cummings, floater is a little too strong.
Good action. That's Cummings' first shot of the second half. He's a guy who's going to need to score if you want to continue to chop into this lead.
18 points, 19 points for Cummings in the 2 games he played before the injury. 7 points on 10 shots tonight. Eaglestaff shovels, it rattles around, and Pitt away with it. Minor leading the break. Pitt going fast again, but that pass way off target. And another turnover.
Those are ones you have to convert. Minor is looking at Witherspoon. Witherspoon went to back out. Minor's telling him, he's telling him right now, take the layup. It's a 3-on-2 break. Witherspoon was doing modern basketball, was inside the 3 and was going to back out and wanted to shoot the corner 3.
Where you'd have preferred old school basketball.
Yeah, you need the points. You got to put the points on the board. Witherspoon already had an excellent finish in the first half in transition, and he's such a big guard.
You see that next level all the time, right? Those guys flaring out.
Yeah, they're going to flare out, and they can shoot a lot of threes.
Waiting for the spray. And 5 on the shot clock, West Virginia.
Great job by Minor right there. Excellent one. Excellent defense against Huff.
He forced the Thomas tough too, and then Pitt will get it back.
That possession, the tone was set by DeMarco Minor. Huff came off, didn't have anything. He stayed Velcro to him, body to body. When Huff went to chase that ball after hitting the high post, there was nowhere for him to go.
Minor's a guy that helped build the program at SIU Edwardsville for Brian Baroni. Set the table for those guys before they went to the NCAA tournament last year, while Minor went to Oregon State, and now on to Pitt. Witherspoon with the team high 11. And crossing in on Eaglestaff, and throws it off the back of Conte, who noticed it before the turnover, and then a turnover himself.
After some really good possessions by the Panthers, they've been just a little bit disjointed these last 2 or 3 times down the floor.
Turnovers have really mounted It's 7 since halftime. We're up to 10 on the game. Remember, Pitt kept it inside with 10 turnovers in their last game. Well, West Virginia looking for a 4-0 start. So is Pitt. Pitt has done that back-to-back years. West Virginia for the first time in a few years. Obioha sliding in for 2 more.
Jasper Floyd, the patience, getting into the paint, the beautiful pocket pass on the hard roll. Good 2-man game.
So back to a 14-point lead with 19 on the board tonight for Obioha. Cummings loses it. Kept it alive, but Floyd has been there on the spot all half. 3, Huff. He got it! Cummings can't quiet him down. Really acoustics in here, man.
One of the best atmospheres in college basketball.
Sound just bounces off the top of Hope Coliseum. Straight back down onto the floor. Inside 7 minutes to go. Floyd off a pivot. Can't put it away. Conte the rebound.
Pitt's got to get Corin back in the game. They're going to need him this last 6:30.
The minor sweeps. In and out. Battle for the rebound. Conte can't quite get there. Thomas does. And Fowler jump ball. We got a foul call. West Virginia built it to 21. Pitt fought back to 10. It's back up to 17.
The Mountaineers defense, they're swarming. The multiple efforts. Jasper Floyd. They pick up the loose ball, then they find one of the best three-point shooters in the country in the corner with the knockdown.
And he would have made a pretty good tight end in Hoxie, Kansas, but the center thing is working out pretty well for him, too.
Obioha has been an absolute stud for the Mountaineers tonight. Been too much of a load to handle for the Pitt Panthers so far. He's perfect from the field. He's done it in a lot of different ways. Crashing the offensive glass, but then on these post-ups right here, the patience in the post, feeling his defender spinning off him, the beautiful drop-step baseline, and then the hard roll, catches the pocket pass, and the finish through contact. And this is what happens. When you get in better shape, you can do more things. You can play longer stretches. This guy's been effective on both ends of the floor tonight. Coach Hodge told me at shoot-around today, he's usually a 20 to 22-minute-a-game guy, but he wants him by the end of the year 27, 28 minutes a game. That's how important this guy is going to be to their success. And it's a credit to him to be changing his body, getting in great shape, and doing those things on a daily basis.
And his words in the preseason, I'd like to see a little bit less of him. He didn't mean less time around of him.
Great line.
He meant less weight, of course. Well, he is shined tonight. Obioha, a perfect 8 of 8. And 4 points away from his career high. Set last year at UNC Wilmington. 3, Huff. Another tough one. This one into the hands of Andrew Saitis for Pitt.
So if you're Pitt right now, 6 minutes left in the game, you want to get this down maybe in the next 3 minutes. By the 3-minute mark, you hope to have it at like 9 or 10 points, and then you got a chance to finish this game.
Andrew Saitis whirling in. It's erased by Lorient.
Some of the versatility of Lorient, the transfer from North Texas, who leads this team in blocks, his second monster block of the evening.
Take your pick on which one you like better, this one or the pin.
Look at the athleticism coming to get that, the timing. Beautiful play by Lorient.
What's your point about getting it down to 9 or 10 for Pitt? They won't do it on this trip to get any closer, but they had it to 10 with the ball. And technical is called. Floyd bringing it up. And Andrew Saitis was in his face and called for the tee.
You can't do that if you're Andrew Saitis. You're down 17. You can't give the Mountaineers a chance for just free points at the line. No matter how frustrated you are, this is part of what's Coach Capel. This will be a learning experience for their team, especially the young players, the freshmen, and then Andrew Saitis, who has not played a ton of college minutes going into this season. You have to play with a ton of poise and composure at all times, no matter if it's going your way or not.
That's what the Ross Hodge defense has done with the players for several years now, right?
They frustrate you.
Yep. Pull you into
it's
stuff
hard.
like that.
Yeah. when you're seeing bodies and physicality and you're not getting the call and you're on the road, it can get frustrating for you.
And both of them down for Honor Huff. And it's a 9-0 run as Andrew Saitis. It was actually directed toward Marcus Pettigrew, not toward Floyd. That's what drew the tech and then led to this 9-0 run. 5.5 minutes to go. West Virginia trying to stop a drought in this series as Huff is fouled. He was loud enough in here, couldn't hear the whistle.
Jeff Capel so upset. He's saying these are some of the same calls that should be calling on our end. We should be going to the foul line. Honor Huff with the back door right there. He actually jumps into the pit defender. Smart play on the back door, but watch him jump backwards. That shouldn't be a foul. He shouldn't be able to initiate the contact jumping backwards into the pit defender. I can see why Coach Capel's frustrated that his guys are not shooting free throws with some of the same contact on the other end of the floor.
And he just got teed up. So 2 technicals in quick time for Pitt. Andrew Saitis with one, now Jeff Capel with one. Well, there was a sequence with Corin. Remember that trip where they had 4 chances at it? But Jeff Capel, that was the start of him being incensed.
He feels his guys have been attacking the paint, drawing contact, but they're not getting the same type of calls that West Virginia's getting on this end of the floor.
Well, he has removed himself from the situation all the way down to the other end of the bench. As the lead has grown to 22 for West Virginia. Now the regularly scheduled personal for Huff, and it's 23 for West Virginia.
And let's give credit to West Virginia. When Pitt made that run to cut this 21-point lead down, West Virginia's had the answer, and they've done it on the defensive end.
The thing could have snowballed. It hasn't, as Corin gets an easy one. First basket in a long time, almost 5 minutes for Pitt. So as soon as they got it to 10, they go on a 5-minute drought. And now they've only got 5 minutes to play with, chasing 21. Now Floyd and Witherspoon grinding out wide, the crowd reacting.
Kip Kissinger just watching, waiting to see what's going to happen.
Well, that's still the matchup with 6 on the shot clock. Ogasuk for 3. He rolls it home. A 16-2 run. And Obi-Ohan called for the foul. You do wonder if there was an element of makeup there. Jeff Capel pointing C.
That's a lot of ball. That's a lot of ball.
That is a lot of ball.
Good recovery by Obi-Ohan. That's a good block. That's a play on.
Some whispers of Rasheed Wallace happening in Morgantown.
Ball don't lie.
Well, Pitt absolutely put it on West Virginia the last 2 years. 2 blowout wins. And think of the Blake Hinson game where he hit 9 threes. West Virginia and their fan base are going to have no mercy down the stretch here. They're trying to close this out.
Yeah, and if you think about it, nobody on this Mountaineer team was a part of that.
Right.
Not one player.
3 ball. Rebound for Corin. Ross Hodge, I don't think he liked that shot. Either that or he was just very adamant his team gets back. Approaching 4 minutes, and that rolls home for Cialepa.
Cialepa's going to be a very good player for this Pitt team. He's going to be a big force. He's a big body, super versatile, can handle, pass the ball. Young man from Brisbane, Australia. Played some professional ball already.
Witherspoon called for the foul. And to the bonus for West Virginia when you come back. A couple of technicals for Pitt. The backyard brawl always gets emotional. West Virginia native Jacob Pavlak will be there. 66-45 West Virginia as they try to close out in the Final Four.
West Virginia super impressive tonight in their first real test of the season. They've done it with defense. It's going to be they're going to be a very good team in the Big 12. Probably finish higher than they've been predicted. They're picked 11th in the Big 12, but if this defense plays like that, they're going to be hard to beat.
You think about how many teams are ranked 6 Big 12 teams in the top 25 right now. And I think some from the outside kind of scoffed when Ross Hodge said, we expect to contend right away.
Yeah, he brought in all these transfers. He brought in guys who have won at other places. That was a big thing for him, is bringing in winners, because he believes winning breeds winning. And so that's been able to accelerate the chemistry. And we got the 6-7 just right now. We got the 6-7. Connor Huff did Honor Huff just did the motion.
Did you see J.C. Hoyt is the women's coach at Oklahoma State, called a timeout in their game this week on Kids Day when they got to 67.
I didn't see it, but I wish I did.
Your kids would have loved it.
Yeah, it's a big thing in my household, is the 6-7.
No timeout called after the first free throw. West Virginia at 68. And more good defense in the half court. Huff spinning and off the bottom of the backboard on a near highlight. We're going to go back to Pitt. Well, you've seen 360 slams, but have you seen a 360 layup from an inch off the floor?
No, those are hard to make. You got to be up in the air a little bit longer for that. And you know, this Pitt team is going to be good too as they continue to grow and get to know each other. Like Brandon Cummings didn't have a great night returning off the injury with the ankle that he missed last game. Sia Lip is a super talented young player. He's only been on campus for 2 months, and this is the first time for Sia Lip that he's just been solely focused on basketball. So there's a great learning curve. He's only got his development accelerated because he's been a big-time rugby player most of his life.
Well, he was flashing in there, went right through his hands.
And then we've seen the emergence of Omari Witherspoon. He's going to be a force for Jeff Capel's squad. And then if Corin can continue with that consistency of the 15 and 10, the double-doubles night in and night out, this Pitt team's going to be someone to reckon with in a very tough ACC.
Well, they're picked 14th in the league. Remember, a couple of years ago they were picked 14th. Finished there.
Capel has exceeded expectations each of the last 3 years. They've been picked low in the conference, and they finished much higher. His teams will be ready to battle.
Floyd whirls, leaves it. Obioha powers in, and they get one back on him with Corin. Obioha with 19, and Corin running the floor.
I love that, playing 94 feet. The block on one end, and then sprinting the floor on the other end.
And that wouldn't be a backyard brawl if there weren't 3 technicals in this game. And that one's on Corin. All 3 of them on Pitt. And now we got some John going on. Obioha and Corin came together. Good job by Marcus Pettigrew to get them separated. So, because all these guys are, for the most part, new. But they are playing the role tonight.
Yeah, they are. The intensity, you could feel it when we came in the arena about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Like the student section bringing the juice to the players, like you could see the concentration level. Like they're almost like feeling each other out as they're warming up on each side of the court. Sometimes a little bit of a stare down. Each coaching staff watching the other team warm up. Like this is real. The backyard brawl and the intensity and the rivalry, it's real.
How about the research from the Mountaineer Maniacs too? They were out here an hour before. Anytime DeMarco Minor took a step, they played the Marco Polo game with him.
Yeah,
that was his first name. They had the research on Brandon Cummings too. Where's Nelly?
That's the best student section. That's what college basketball is about. You want that. That gives you a little bit of home court advantage.
Now the Oakland Zoo will give it right back to these guys next year. 75 miles up the road as we hit 2 minutes. And that's an offensive foul on Obioha. Tonteo winning back from tip. Obioha steps out. A job well done. 19 points, his high as a Mountaineer. With Lafayette and another ACC team coming up. Clemson, one of the winningest programs in the ACC over the last few years. Another big test coming as West Virginia is climbing to 4-0. Witherspoon on the 6th team foul for West Virginia. Pittsburgh last year was hot out of the gates. Remember, they started 12-2. Their motivation all offseason was to do that again like they did last year against Ohio State. Beat those guys in an overtime game. But 5-13 was Pitt's record in the final 2 months.
I'll be on that call against UCF next week, so get to see this Panther team again in about 7 days.
Looking forward to hearing you again. And it's out of bounds staying here. You're going all east to start your college basketball
Yeah, they're
season.
sending this West Coast guy out to the different time zones, messing up my sleep a little bit in these couple weeks.
Hopefully no Murphy's Law travel nights like last night. Getting in here.
You had a brutal night.
Down to 5 to go off the front of the rim and rebound for Lorient. So West Virginia starting to start the buses. Student section behind us. A minute away from 4-0. And the scoop. And Floyd to the line. Looking for 2 more. It had been 3 years before tonight. Floyd was down grabbing his calf. Oh, man, he's played an excellent game tonight. Guard spot for the Mountaineers.
He's been the catalyst. He's been the guy that has set the table for his teammates with 7 assists. He's been touching the paint. He's been a great point of attack defender. Hopefully this is just a little bit of a cramp.
Yeah.
But Floyd has been a tremendous guard tonight. He had the on-ball steal early in the second half that sparked a big run. He knocked down a 3 late in the clock. He's touched the paint. He plays really under control. He's found Obioha in the pick and roll. This guy's been the floor general and leader tonight for Coach Hodge.
He's getting stretched out. Jasper Floyd after going down, but this is what you're talking about. A 2-way night for Jasper Floyd at the guard spot.
Well, here he is. This is in the first half. Shot clock was winding down, gets a little bit of separation. Not necessarily known as a three-point shooter. Now he gets downhill, the hesitation. He's a big guard, 6'3", nearly 200 pounds. And then he gets into the basketball, point of attack defender, nowhere to go. Strips the ball with the great hands. Guy has been playing up both ends of the floor very well for the Mountaineers.
Part of that top 5 defense in the country last year at North Texas. You figure that in the Big 12, Houston, of course, has had the identity for years of one of the best defensive teams in the country. They might have some company in the league this year with West Virginia.
Yeah, they really are going to have some company. This team is going to hold you. It's going to be a rock fight every single night. They play with great physicality. They're connected on the defensive end. Their shell defense is tight. They have size in the paint. They have guys who can guard on the ball. I love what I see from this West Virginia team.
Unless, Miles, there's a real flurry here from Pitt at the end of this game, this will be 27 straight games for Ross Hodge, where his teams hold the other team under 70 points.
That's amazing.
I don't think Pitt's getting there tonight.
No, I don't think they're getting there tonight.
The high 60s have been the max against this good defense in the half court. The final minute. Minor still out there working on Thomas. And he gives it up. Cummings sneaks it in. Conte there for a dunk. Pitt will keep the press on. Remember, margin is part of the NCAA selection process. That's why you see some of the regulars still out there late in this game. And a foul call.
I think Coach Capel is like, We didn't want to foul there. To your point about margin.
I mean, with that, I guess the silver lining is you can go quick 2 for 1.
Yeah. You can work on it.
If you're thinking about margin, and you can work on it. Honor Huff at the line for 2, got his first on a 14-point night. I figure as we get deeper into the schedule, Huff is going to have some 20, 25-point games in the Big 12.
Yeah, he's going to have the way he shoots the basketball and the attention that he receives, and the offense that they run for him, the sets that they run for him. He's going to have some nights where he's going to hit 7, 8, 9 3-pointers.
He's done with volume tonight. His night looks to be done. Huff up to 15 points on 10 shots. Well, Pitt could have gone 2 for 1. They don't. Inside 30 seconds in the game. Minor, floater, heavy, rebound. Thomas, and West Virginia can dribble it out if they want. Well, 3 years of waiting in the backyard brawl. To sing a happy version of Country Roads in Morgantown. And Ross Hodge in his first backyard brawl starts 1-0 against the rival in Pitt at 71-49 the final. There's that number again. 27 straight games. Only teams under 70.
Amazing defense. That's an incredible stat. West Virginia set the tone from the opening jump and dominated on the defensive end.
We said 25 was pretty good for West Virginia in the first half. They hold Pitt to 24 in the second half. Well, thanks for joining us. That does it for the 192nd Backyard Brawl. It goes to West Virginia for the National